Long gone are the days where you were going on YouTube and creating whatever you wanted to create. The sky was the limit back then, right? And videos didn't have to be high quality. You could just drop anything that you wanted. There was no copyright music, copyright sounds where you were limited to do whatever you wanted to do, really. It was the freedom back then in the beginning of YouTube. The more it got popular, the more things happened, the more rules happen, the more limitations happen. Again, it's still a platform that actually I would say it's still worth definitely a try here, but a lot of things have changed. You have categories, you have boxes, you have things that work, you have things that don't work, and today we're gonna discuss what actually works on YouTube for 2022. And you might be surprised because at the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you what you can do to improve your presence online, especially here on YouTube. So let's go. Welcome back to my channel. Salut les amis, bienvenue et bon retour sur ma chaîne. Hola, bienvenue to the canal. Konnichiwa, watashi no channel ni yokoso. I hope you're doing fine. There's another day, another week, another video. After me a long time no see, I know, I'm back. That's all that matters here, right? Thank you. It's not about going for the trend. It's about going with something that works for you and that works for the platform too. The first thing I would say here is the introduction. 2022, it is a thing where you just can't go so long for introduction. You don't need to present yourself, you don't need to introduce yourself because people definitely have that short attention span. They don't care about who you are. They don't care if you're king or queen. I'm sorry to tell you this. It's, I know, crash news. They want the essence. They want something that is straightforward because they just don't have time anymore. They don't have time to go through whatever you want to say to actually find something they want to hear from you. They telling who you are, what do you do, where you've been, no. They don't want to know all of that. They kind of hear the same thing over and over and over and over again, especially on this platform where everything is repetitive. People are doing kind of the same thing at this point, so they kind of know already what they get into when they start watching your videos. See, there's already an interest, and the interest always comes from the title. This is where you need to really be good at bringing good titles to your videos, the type of thing that will bring more intrigue, more interest, and definitely not the clickbait here. I would not encourage that. It's gonna kill your reputation even more. You're gonna get off of your videos and off of your channel forever and ever. You just have to add the distraction around your videos because you start watching this video, aka my video, and then you're gonna have other options, other suggestions, and at some point they forget real fast about you. Second thing is the no fluff thing. You can go about and again on the subject and really think and saying the same thing again and again. And I'm saying it because I plead guilty here because I'm somebody that just loves to talk for the sake of talking sometimes, and it can go so far into talking about the same thing, finding different things about saying things in the same video. And I've been told that many times. It's not something that I take bad or anything. It can be my own signature here at this point. It can be my own personality too. But the point is, you need to be aware of the fact that sometimes you just don't need to add more fluff than it already is. Extra fluff. Bring some fluff if you want to, but make it super extra interesting. You gotta be careful. Unless you're confident you can talk about anything and everything and really go long for stories and stories and stories because you have that in you, you're magnetic and you're drawing people to you. Yeah, that might work, but when you start out, usually you're still discovering yourself, so there's not that full confidence yet. So you want to bring more and more of that, but little by little. Start with the special and simple stuff you can talk about and really go straight to the point. You've got the intro song here, or the intro, the generic song intro that people used to have, the intro that you saw at the beginning. That's the thing where you want to make sure that it's not long. It's the type of thing that brings more of the branding presence here. At the same time, if that intro is way too long, there's a problem here. There's an issue because people, they just don't have time anymore. You gotta be mindful, you gotta be aware of that because it's good to have a song, it's good to have an intro, it's good to have that type of intro at the beginning because it's still a part of you, right? So I'm not saying to not have it, but most channels that I see nowadays are the ones that don't have much of those little intro. I keep mine because I just like it, so it's just a thing for me. But I'm realizing more and more that's the thing that people don't need anymore. They just want to get to know you or whatever you're talking about. That leads me to the next thing, which is the intro song that you have at the beginning of the video shouldn't be right at the beginning of the video. Starting by talking about what they're gonna be talking about in the video. Let's say they make a joke about it, just the thing that I did at the beginning, where I kind of sum up the idea of what I'm gonna be talking about. It's a kind of trailer without being the trailer. And people just get hooked on that real fast. But if they get to see your intro song right at the beginning, they don't know you yet, they don't know you much, they want to get to know you, and by starting talking about the little things that you're gonna be talking about in the video, they kind of get more interested. Rather than just saying your intro song, which is beautiful and cute, I'm sure of it, I trust you on that. You start with that intro where you sum up your idea, you sum up the main thing that you're gonna be talking about, and then you go to the intro song, and then you go right into the meat, right into the plat de résistance, like we say in French. Blank moments that you leave in your videos. When you think about something, you're talking about it, and then you have a blank, and then you leave it on the video, like, I don't know, that's good. Forget that people can stop right at the moment. Leave the option of the viewer to get off of your video. You don't want no blank space. And it's not to say that you don't have to take breaks when you talk, because it takes a lot of preparation before even getting in front of the camera, especially if you're not used to it. This video that you're watching right now is a video that I prepared in a couple of minutes. I got the ideas and I started talking about it right in front of the camera. It doesn't mean that it's a thing that everybody can do. You have to be comfortable first into being in front of the camera to even get to that point, right? So for you to start talking about the ideas and really thinking about those ideas when you're already in front of the camera, it doesn't make it pro for you, and it doesn't make it pro for the viewers. So it's where it's really important for you to prep up. It's really important for you to plan. It's really important for you to start writing a bit of your ideas, starting to let your mind just get through those ideas before getting in front of the camera. The more you're gonna write out those ideas, the less you're gonna have those blank space in front of the camera. Worry because you're stressed, because you're anxious, because you're not used to it. It's okay. But by planning it more, you get to have the point where you are more prepared. So those fears, they're coming, but you're kind of ready for it. Don't leave no blank space. Cut it through the editing. I might do a video where I'm explaining the process of my editing, how I do edit my videos. Could be interesting. Let me know if you want it. Next thing is to try. And I'm gonna say try your best to not read your notes while you're watching and you are looking at the camera. Just don't do that. It's easy to have your notes right here next to the camera and start reading it and not making it natural for you. If you want to really be pro and really make it natural, like you're talking to somebody, your best friend or people you want to help, and start going from that place of heart and try your best when you have your notes to prepare all of that before it, and then get in front of the camera, be ready for it because you practice that again and again and again and again. I remember when I was at university, I'm a shy person. It doesn't look like it, but I'm very, very, very much shy. So for me to even get to that point, believe me, it took so many of practices. Yes, 10 years. Yes, 10 years in the making. And I remember when I was like preparing the presentations, being at university, you have a couple of presentations to do, at least one in a couple of subjects that you're doing, a couple of classes. The more you're getting to the end of your program, the more you have oral presentations to do. F my life. I was overwhelmed, I was anxious, I was shy. I was a person where I'm like, can I be just the person that prepare everything and then I stay behind and I don't have to show my face, say anything, speak about anything in front of people looking at me with the two eyes? It's scary. It's freaking scary. So I remember those days, and one of those classes I remember because this is when I realized the power of practicing your speech. Because with a lot of classes, I would actually prepared our presentations with my friends and the group I was working with, and I would never necessarily practice a lot, right? And I would always leave it to the hope of just making it work the day of the presentation, to the point where I was always overwhelmed. I was shy. I couldn't say things right. I would literally just not say everything that I wanted to say. I would mess up my words. It was not good. It was not. Although for some reasons it was a good presentation, people liked it, but it was not good. It was not good. So, because of it, with that last presentation that I had to do, which was at the end of the program, I decided to really get at it and really go for it and really practice the thing 2 weeks before. I remember I was sitting in my apartment. I was preparing the thing. I was writing the notes and stuff, and I was like, Laetitia, this time you're practicing that thing. You're practicing 2 weeks before. And it's a thing that I never had done before. I would always practice, I think, a couple of days before the presentation, knowing that I would probably suck at it because I'm just not good. But still, just, do it 3 days before. And no wonder I was not good at it, because I was not prepared enough. Some people can do it if they're more outgoing, drawn by those people looking at them. They love it. I don't like it. I can love being on videos, but it's a thing that I've learned to do. So for this class, 2 weeks before, I would practice the notes every single day for at least 10-15 minutes every single day. It's something that I took seriously because I was kind of fed up of just feeling sick in front of people. I was like, no, that ain't happening. We stop that. We stop it. This is too much. The shame of it. I remember that day when I was presenting the topic, I felt so calm. Getting anxious was right at the beginning of presenting it, which is normal. No matter what you do, you're still gonna get that anxiousness. But because you train your mind and train your brain and prepare your brain to make it happen, when you start presenting, calm energy that comes out of you, and you're just like, ooh. That's new. I felt so proud of myself. I was like, wow. I didn't mess up my words. Not even once. Or maybe once. But it was not as bad as that. Take it to heart to always practice. Fake it until you make it. You actually have to make it first and then fake it along the way, or along the journey. Now, the thing that you may want to do is, first of all, show more of your personality. It's pretty much cliche at this point. Understand who you are as a person. We have some people, they are more sarcastic. We have some people, they are much more serious. We have a lot of people that put themselves labels that they don't need to put. You're sharing something educational. I can do it. Because you're sharing something educational here, you're gonna feel the need to be so serious and I can't necessarily bring too much of my weird or quirky personality. I just can't bring that because I need to be serious. I need to be pro. Like, people have to take me seriously. The thing that you need to realize in 2022 is that you have a much younger generation looking to be entrepreneurs for the point and purpose of making money. They really don't have that idea of having to have a suit or look the part to actually be taken seriously. You can be taken seriously because you're gonna bring ideas. Of course, there's a level of looking up the part that you need to bring. I mean, I'm not saying you go out of your bed and be in PJ and then show your face like that. I still need to put this makeup on. I still need to look. I'm gonna channel that energy. When I'm feeling good because I dress up, because I put some makeup on, it's because of the energy that I'm gonna bring to the video. So that's why I would say showcase your energy through dressing up, putting some makeup on for women, or just dressing up for men. No matter what you need to do, it's a way to channel your energy more than the appearance of it. People now connect with that. They don't connect necessarily to what you do first, they connect to who you are first. Millions of people, they're gonna talk about confidence on camera, confidence on videos and whatnot. What do you have that's gonna make the difference? Ask yourself this question. What is your approach to it? I love going with stories. I love going with the shows that I'm watching, like Arcade. So much fun doing it because I'm showcasing my personality of what I like doing in general, outside of just teaching how to be confident on videos. The next thing is to put everything you say in form of chapters now on YouTube. The point here is to make sure that people, they don't need to go through your whole videos to actually get a part of it and watch what they need to be watching and then go to the next thing. The more people get on your videos and they don't get to find what they want to hear from you, the higher chances you have for them to go and never come back. They have million suggestions right after it. They forget you easily. If it's the first time they kind of come across your channel, you want to make a point here, structure it in a way where they find what they want to hear from you. Now on YouTube, you have that option, and it's really great, and people do it more and more, to chapterize. This is a new word for me. Yes, chapterize your video and structure it in a way that it makes sense, it's logic. When you upload your video, times of the thing that you're talking about, let's say from 1 minute to 2 minutes, you're talking about the confidence on video. From 2 minutes to 3 minutes, you're talking about like the strategy to get to it, and so on and so on. Super easy to do it. When you get to upload your video on YouTube, in the description, the last thing I would share is to think outside of the box. It's gonna be a real thing where I'm like such a creative person, and I love working with creatives because we're getting into the year and the momentum where creatives get to make the difference into everything that we're doing. You know, the business is booming for us creatives, and it was the moment, it was the time. And for that matter, you can be free of just going and really find your own approach to things. We don't reinvent the wheel here. We're gonna talk about the same thing over and over and over and over again. Now the difference is gonna be you being the creative, how you approach it, how you bring it to life, how you bring it to such a level that people are just drawn to it, even if they heard that from somebody else before. How can you make it such a point where it's you becoming that reference? It's about understanding the platforms you're on, and it's about understanding yourself even more. Who are you? What do you want? Simple. Those are the questions you want to ask yourself. Because on YouTube, we have the thing where everything is kind of pre-categorized, and that's probably what I kind of find side with YouTube right now, because before you had more freedom from what I feel. You had a lot more freedom into bringing topics the way you wanted, with everything you wanted. Now there's a lot more restrictions because you can't talk about anything and everything because it can be a prejudice for a certain group of people, and so on and so on. Even the songs, music, it was a thing where there was no restriction about it. You need to be careful, you really need to be mindful, and even when you talk, you need to be mindful of what you say, because people can come at you and really bring you down even when you didn't do anything, to be honest. So in all that context, you are in the middle of that and you gotta make a difference. And making a difference is not necessarily you're gonna be the most polite person, genuine person that's gonna be saying nothing too bad, nothing too wrong. That's the fact that you get into a platform when you know there's already the categories, you know there's those restrictions, you can play with those restrictions. Make it work for you, not against you. And I've seen a ton of YouTubers and a lot of YouTubers that just bring it to the level of what I want to be at some point. I think I talked about him already, James Danny. I probably talked about it at least once in one of my videos because he's been one of my mentors, because it just brings something where he can talk about topics that I'm just not interested about. The way he's gonna bring it to life though, is gonna be everything to me. And he brings it into a form of documentary style, which is something that I love. I love the high quality videos and the emotions that you get out of it. And it's not because of the high quality of it, it's because of the way it brings it to you. It's gonna bring a lot more graphics, a lot more things where it's like a movie. It's a story. Gurus online, making money online, how bad it can be, how dark it can be. Well, it's already interesting by its own, to be honest. But I remember one of his videos was about Bitcoin. It's something that I know and that I heard of because of people around me. I watched one of his videos and he was talking about the Bitcoin, and I was hooked up from the get-go because of the way he brings it to life. There's another one that I can talk about. David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. I think it was my best discovery for this year. I'm not a fan of audiobooks, to be honest. I love the feeling of the paper. I love the feeling of just grabbing the paper and turning the pages and reading and just feeling the thing. That's just my thing, I guess. I mean, not everybody likes it, and not everybody is perfect for that matter. But it's something that I tend to love. Having audiobook is something that I was willing to give a try, but I was not convinced. And there was a lot of books that indeed I would hear it audio-wise and I would not be a fan because it was boring. It was that monotone voice and I was like, book I know is very interesting, but the person reading the book doesn't make it interesting. David Goggins, he came up with this amazing idea where it's not just the book that he's reading. Between the chapters, he has a conversation with somebody else about those topics in the chapter. So there's even more of the value through hearing his book, through having his audiobook. Good way of bringing stories alive, but the person that we're reading his book is really good at it. He has a thing where it's not monotone at all. You feel the story through hearing his book. You feel it, and not everybody can do that. Not everybody has a voice for it, but that person has a voice for it. But on top of that, he brought a podcast to an audiobook. This is mind-blowing to me because up until now, nobody had ever done that I know. Nobody. And that was such a smart move. And simple and smart move all at the same time. And that just brings somebody that is creative. He's not afraid of giving try. He's not afraid of just getting through it and getting outside of the box, thinking outside of the box and really seeing the thing and see what he can make out of it. And I think the power of creatives right now is really to look at platforms. They do the content, create content, and see how they can bring into a certain approach that maybe nobody had done before. I know how scary it can be to bring it to life to a point where you're the first person to bring it and you just don't know if somebody is even gonna listen to it. Everybody is gonna be doing the same thing because they don't want to stick out. But at the same time, they want to stand out. But the approach to it is anything but standing out. End up being like copies and copies of copies and copies and copies. And that's why on YouTube right now, you have people that just getting bored. I'm watching YouTube videos most of my time. And I can't tell you how many videos usually I just pass by because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be the same thing again and again. And I think at some point, even for me, stopping doing videos and recording, I don't want to do the same thing. And every time that I wanted to speak about a matter, it was always coming the same way that I was listening to. Avoid consuming so much of videos or so much of content out there. Rather, create more than you consume. Bring that balance. If you get to be the consumer of it, most of the time, 90% of the time, you're gonna start saying the same thing without even you realizing it. You're not gonna be able to go deeper in your own mind, in your own brain to bring something original to what you already see online. Making a balance here is super important. If you are somebody that's still, let's say, not ready to get in front of the camera and just love listening to other people's content, do it, but do it with that awareness, thinking outside of the box of what everybody is gonna say. I know it's something that I can talk for hours and hours and hours and never get tired of saying it and sharing. So we're gonna stop it here for today. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed this content. Obviously, it's something that I love. Subscribe to this channel because it's gonna be a mixed match of a lot of different things at this point until I'm gonna find my own ground. No, I'm kidding. I hope it's something that you're gonna enjoy, and that you're gonna learn something from it. For the time being, I have a Facebook group where I'm sharing more of what it is to be confident on video, dying to just express that creative energy. If you want to connect, if you want to share more of it, definitely get in the description box below and you're gonna have the link to join. Don't be shy here. We are all making it work. Wild cards, wild videos, but you're gonna have a ton of things really interesting. I'm having my ideas. So I hope you liked it. I hope you adored it. I'm gonna see you next time for my next video. And until then, like I say all the time, keep smiling because it's free and contagious in a good way. Bye.